Puis le libéral est content de Mark Carney. Hein? Il vous a chié dans la pelle. Le soumis. Ah, c'est-tu que j'ai ça? Le soumis ben raide. Ah, c'est une gang de tata. Vous l'avez fait un bon choix.
Kissing Trump's ring in one of the most embarrassing moments I think I've ever seen from any politician. People are calling it his elbows down moment. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. You can't write a better story if you tried. Canada continues to take L after L after L. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so like I said, elbows up, taking on Trump. We're gonna punish him for what he's done to us, to now this.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually, for the big announcement. But thank you for your hospitality and above all, for your leadership. You're a transformational president, focused on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected, with the help of my colleagues here, to transform Canada. With a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And, you know, the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can move forward.
He's now calling Donald Trump a transformational candidate who clearly is standing up for the American worker. Holy frickin' moly, this clown spent the entire election cycle pretending to be an anti-Trump hero. And now this, his nose is brown. This is the guy who said that the relationship between America and Canada is done forever.
The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperations, is over.
Absolutely pathetic, and it's funny because this entire time as we've been following this back and forth between the two nations, we kept hearing from the Canadian side that they don't understand what Donald Trump is doing. These tariffs are, quote, unjustified. He's just attacking us and bullying us probably because he's a fascist who wants to annex Canada. He's coming after our sovereignty. That was the claim, right? But now he's hitting us with this whole, ooh, Trump's a transformational candidate who's clearly just fighting for the American worker and their interests, and we agree with President Trump and the issues that he's outlined. We commit to working with Donald Trump on all the issues like military spending, the fentanyl crisis, and Arctic military defense. What a total loser. They made it seem as if they had no idea why Trump was applying pressure on him. And now as the election's done, oh, all of a sudden, they totally understand it. Oh, it makes perfect sense why Donald Trump was applying pressure with these tariffs. And actually, we agree and we commit to working on all these issues. I'm just sitting here thinking back to the video that I made, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, where this is exactly what I was talking about. Instead of engaging in good faith, instead of engaging in negotiations, these absolute politician clown losers just frame the situation as Donald Trump having a power trip, him just being an authoritarian who wants to annex Canada, and they were going to fight to the very end, tariff for tariff, dollar for dollar tariffs. They kept going on and on about inflicting as much pain as possible on the American economy. And now here they are, absolutely F-Oing, finding out big time. The Canadian people seemingly entrusted this fool with the task of negotiating with Trump, and boy are they learning a very, very valuable lesson.
Is there anything he could say to you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No.
Why not?
Just the way it is. See, the conflict is, and this is very friendly. We're not. This is not going to be like we had another little blow up with somebody else. That was a much different. This is a very friendly conversation. But we want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada. We put tariffs on cars from Canada, and at a certain point, it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars. And we don't want steel from Canada because we're making our own steel, and we're having massive steel plants being built right now as we speak. We really don't want Canadian steel, and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things because we want to be able to do it ourselves. And because of past thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us. And there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada. Canada's a place that will have to be able to take care of itself economically. I assume they can. I will tell you that Trudeau, when I spoke to him, I said, so why are we taking your cars? Why are we taking we want to make them ourselves. I mean, if we put a tariff on your cars of 25%, what would that mean to you? He said, that would mean the end of Canada. He actually said that to me. And I said, that's a strange answer, but I understand his answer. No, I mean, it's hard to justify subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year. We protect Canada militarily, and we always will. We're going to, that's not a money thing. But we always will. But, it's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number. And it's hard for the American taxpayer to say, gee whiz, we love doing that.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, it seems as though nothing has changed. And honestly, I don't blame Donald Trump for being a hard ass on this stuff. I think to a certain extent he's playing nice for the cameras, but I don't think he's forgotten at all the trade war talk, the anti-Trump rhetoric. I mean, both candidates ran hate Trump campaigns. And now it seems they think that it'll all be forgotten. No, it was just all politics. And everyone's just gonna simply move along as they run to the White House to kiss ass. No frickin' way. Canada made it clear that they didn't want to play ball. Again, instead of considering Trump's grievances and engaging in good faith negotiations, what did they do? They told Canadians to sell their vacation homes in Florida. Don't travel to America. And we've seen tourism go down. They launched boycotts against American companies. They vowed to cause pain to America in response. And now they want to play nice after the election with this Carney clown talking about, oh, well, now we're going to work on Trump's issues. What a crock of you-know-what. This is your prototypical loser, lying politician who runs on one thing and then does another. The whole thing was a fraud. And clearly this guy simply can't be trusted. He's an absolute scoundrel. And actually, as he's going to the White House to kiss Donald Trump's behind, at the same time, just a couple days ago, he said this.
Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms. And they're being used by criminals to harm our children. My government will act. And today we're announcing our plan to fight crime, to protect Canadians, and to build communities that are safe, secure, and strong.
Oh, just casually threatening American social media companies and signaling more anti-free speech policies. Yeah, this guy clearly can't be trusted. I call him CCP Carney, just like his little boyfriend Justin Trudeau.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China, because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say, we need to go green as fastest. We need to start, investing in solar.
These guys are clearly little slimy politicians who deceive their own voters just to get elected, and now they expect Donald Trump to play their game, to play ball. Trump is going to walk all over them. And he hit the nail on the head when he said, we don't need you, you need us. We will no longer subsidize your economy. I guess it's time for Canada to start tapping into its rich resources and actually running a real economy for once, instead of riding the coattails of the American economy to fund their socialist dreams, the Canadian socialist utopia illusion. Yeah, it's certainly easy to fund your social programs when you don't have to fund your military and you're siphoning dollars and industry from the American economy. Trump is saying, no more. You're on your own. Figure it out. And I don't blame him one bit, just based on all the disrespect and the duplicity. Canada, you got absolutely conned for voting for this complete fraud. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got.